Just 42 miles from modern-day Beirut and right on the border of Syria is Baalbek, the former city of Heliopolis. The ancient Roman complex is home to two of the grandest remaining Hellenistic temples, the Temple of Jupiter and the Temple of Bacchus. The region has been settled by humans for thousands of years, but it was in the 1st century AD that these incredible feats of architecture were constructed. The Temple of Jupiter was built to the Roman sky god, while the slightly smaller but more complete Temple of Bacchus was devoted to Dionysus, the god of wine and music. I felt so small as I walked through the remains of these glorious tributes to ancient Roman architecture, and I practically had the entire complex to myself. This was one of my best day trips in Lebanon, and here's how it went. Good morning, guys. It's my 3rd day here in Beirut, Lebanon, and today I'm going to go on a day trip up to Baalbek, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away from here. I'm going to try to figure out some public transport, but it's one of the largest Roman ruins in the world, some massive temples, and it's just a few miles from the Syrian border. So it's a long trip by Lebanon standards, but you're basically crossing the whole country in less than 2 hours. So first thing, I'm going to try to grab a Uber to Kola station to get the minibuses. So let's do it. So found the bus to Baalbek here at the bus station, and it'll take about 2.5 hours to get there, so it's gonna be a cozy ride. So that ended up being a really long bus ride through the mountains. It was beautiful, it was raining, but that took like 3 hours, so it's already 2:30, and then the bus took us just outside of town, then we had to get into this taxi, so about $6 altogether to get all the way here to Baalbek. And yeah, it looks like it's about to rain, but we might have good lighting for this. So I've just entered the Baalbek temple here, and it's about 300,000 pounds, which is about $8 or $9 to enter, and this place is just massive. It was towering over the town. Anyways, I'm gonna just walk around, explore, and as I learn things through information boards, I'll share what I learned. So from the stairs that are just right to the right of the main entrance, you come up into this hexagonal room, which has 6 sides, and there's a bunch of arches, and then all in the middle here, you just see these ruins with some super ornate facades. But these walls are just so tall. They must be like 40 feet tall. Some of these, it's just massive. And the columns as you enter are just gigantic. This is one of the largest Roman ruins that I've personally seen, like as far as height. through the hexagonal court, you walk through, and suddenly you're in the great courtyard. And just across from the great courtyard is this massive pedestal that was the Jupiter Temple, which was one of the largest Roman temples. And then in the middle you have some altars, you have some pillars. There's also some church history here from the 5th century AD. And then you also have some Arab structures as well, but some of those have been removed so that they could dig back and check out some of the old Roman architecture. But yeah, once again, this courtyard is just massive, and then you can only imagine how big the Jupiter Temple was with just a few of the pillars that are still standing there. So I just walked up this pile of rubble here, and I'm just face to face with what's left of Jupiter Temple. And then you're also just right here staring at Bacchus Temple, which is one of the most complete temples that still exists to this day. So it's just amazing looking at these pillars and what they're supporting. These are some of the best Greco-Roman ruins I've ever seen. This is amazing. Who knew that they were here in Lebanon? From up here you can also get this nice view back to town here, and you can see the mountains just beyond town, and just beyond those mountains is Syria, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, let's keep exploring. Alright guys, I'm gonna head up these steps that take you up to the Temple of Jupiter, so let's go check it out. The pillars of Jupiter Temple must be 60 or 70 feet tall. They're so high. And then from up here, you can look back across at Bacchus Temple, and you're getting both sides of the temple. So you're getting two sides, and there's just all the columns are full. And I'm not 100% sure if that's original or if it's been repaired, but it's the most complete looking Roman ruin I've seen. In the middle of the Temple of Jupiter, there's this one pillar that's kind of fallen down, so you can see just how big and thick in diameter these pillars were to support the weight here. It's just so massive, like it's probably 7 or 8 feet in diameter. It's definitely bigger than me. Besides that, there's not a lot up here on the Temple of Jupiter. There's a couple remnants and just big rocks laying around, but the big thing is we're up on this pedestal, and you're just kind of looking out over the rest of the ruins and the town and the mountains, and it's just really pretty. So I'm gonna head back down from Temple of Jupiter and go explore Bacchus Temple a little bit closer. Here on some of these blocks just beneath the Temple of Jupiter, it's just amazing to see some of the handicraft and the etching work that's thousands of years old. It's just how ornate and how detailed that is. After walking around the courtyard a bit, I'm gonna head up the stairs into Bacchus Temple. So let's go check it out. Wow, the inside of Temple Bacchus here is just amazing. I've never seen such an intact inside of a temple, and it just gives me so much insight into what a lot of these other temples that I've seen in ruins were probably designed to look like. And there's just incredible detail up on top of the pillars, and these walls are probably about 40 or so feet. It's just incredible. On the outside here, you can walk around the Temple of Bacchus between these pillars out here, and you get this beautiful view looking back at the Temple of Jupiter. And then right here, you have the details from the ceiling, and you can see where these pieces fell from the ceiling, and just get an up-close look at some of the statues and everything that are on these pieces way up on the ceiling. It's just beautiful, beautiful artwork. So that's about it for exploring Baalbek Temple here. It's a massive complex, huge buildings, and just such intact architecture still. Is really amazing just to kind of walk around, and there's not a lot of tourists here, so you kind of have the place to yourself. So anyways, we're gonna head back into town and try to figure out a taxi or bus back to Beirut. So wish us luck. Alright, we found a bus back to Beirut, so hopefully it'll just be one bus, and it's 150 pounds, so about $4. So we'll head in there, and hopefully it'll not be 3 hours on the way back this time.